Assalamualaikum. I'm Bani Mustafa, founder of 50 Books a Year and the Grammar Helpline. Also the author of The Janitor's Elysium. In today's video, I will talk about the 3 books that you can read if you're planning to start a business while still on a full-time job. So what is lifestyle design? From the books I've read, through 50 books a year, the kind of life that you want to live clings closely on your most prized values. There is a long list of values that you can choose from, for example, health, wealth, courage, resilience, resourcefulness, plenty. Basing on your most prized values, lifestyle design allows you to live with the values that you choose to identify with. And more often than not, lifestyle design requires a person to have autonomy over the work that they do. Because by doing the work that you love in accordance to your highest values, one person can design his or her lifestyle in accordance to a famous Japanese word called ikigai. Ikigai. Ikigai is when passion, mission, vocation meets profession. This book confronts the high cholesterol, high stress, high salt, high sugar lifestyle that many of us live nowadays. This book provides technical input on how the Japanese are known to live long lives. Besides good nutrition, moderate exercise, healthy relationships, there is one more factor that influences well-being. And this one factor is the growth that they experience in the work that they do. It is a good idea to incorporate Ikigai since you're planning to start a business, because this is the direction that you would want to move into. So great, Ikigai. So how do you know your Ikigai? 4 things. Number 1, you need to know what you love doing. That is easy. Number 2, you need to know what you're good at. Quite easy. Number 3, you need to know what the world needs. The world needs a lot of things. You can choose a few. And number 4, the most important, is you need to know what you can be paid for. Finding something that you can get paid for, that can get quite tricky. But we have side hustle, and you can refer to this as it has simplified the known steps, and it can be rolled out in 5 weeks. You can even sparse out the timeline according to your need. So week 1 is when you generate ideas. Remember to incorporate Ikigai when you're brainstorming. Week 2 is when you conduct research on your ideas. So there are a lot of steps to do in week 2, which I explain further in my blog. You can visit my blog if you are interested to learn more. So week 3 is when you set up the shop. You might want to have a website or a social media account at least, and you set up the tools and the payment gateways for your business. Week 4 is when you launch your business and make money. And week 5 is when you evaluate whether what you did was right. Evaluate what worked and what didn't work. On top of that, you evaluate how you can improve the things that worked. And if the business did not work, you can go back to the drawing board that you did in week 2 so that you can choose another idea and start all over again. So besides side hustle, I also recommend you read another book from the same author, which is $100 Startup, for you to open up your mind on the many ideas that require minimal to none capital. Now I will talk about the book that changed the way I think about work, money, and living. The 4-Hour Work Week. This book was published 12 years ago, and how I wish I had read this sooner. The 4-Hour Work Week teaches that first and foremost, we need to reset our mentality about work and money. We need to disconnect the belief that we need to trade time for money. The idea is for us to do minimum work for the maximum pay that we can get. This is in contrary to the conventional way of working, where you take on huge workload in exchange for pay. It is important to note though that the 4-hour work week is in no way promoting laziness, because this practice lets you focus on the things that have great personal importance to you and with more meaningful results. So how we do that is by putting everything that we do under the microscope to look deeply into the tasks that we do every day. Because really, the fact is only 20% of what we do matters. Because according to the Pareto principle, 80% of impact comes from 20% effort. For example, you run a proofreading service that charges 12 ringgit per page. You charge a premium because you are good at what you do and your clients love you. So an average paper has 10 pages and you get about 5 clients a week. So that means you make 600 ringgit a week. And because you are smart to have looked into the Pareto principle, proofreading takes really a little of your time, maybe just 2 hours in a day. And that means you earn your 600 ringgit for 10 hours of work. This is in comparison for people who earn a week's pay with 40 hours of work. I know you might argue that I earn more than 600 ringgit a week, but let's not forget lifestyle design. Imagine the things that you can do with extra 6 hours in a day. That amounts to 30 hours in a week. The 4-hour work week emphasizes on automating most of our tasks so that we can liberate ourselves from trading time for money, because really the world becomes beautiful once we don't have to make these trade-offs. In conclusion, all 3 books can help if you aspire to design your lifestyle by building a business. I'm not saying that it works for everybody, but it might be for most people. When I started my own business 2 years ago, I quickly learned that it is never about becoming your own boss, neither is it about becoming employed by another business. It is really about being a business owner and having a say on how you use your time. And with life expectancy increasing to 79, the rule of the game is to never retire. Find what you love doing, find your ikigai, and design your lifestyle. The fad about working hard and retiring when you're 40 has lost its luster, because somehow the reality is the people who make money the way they enjoy it never really thought about retiring. And it is my personal belief that each and every one of us has an ikigai inside us, just waiting to be discovered. And with the financial difficulties that came with the unprecedented COVID-19, this discovery might have been accelerated. So I thank you for watching this video, and if you're interested to learn more about the books I mentioned throughout this video, please hop over to my blog at bainimustafa.com/blog, where I provide more comprehensive details about the books. Until then, see you next week.